Hey, chat. Esper Planeswalkers, Esper Control, Mid-Range Mush. Vanishing Verse is a heck of a card. March and Portable Hole are pretty flexible answers. Disdainful Stroke seems pretty reasonable in the format. Got a few different ways to sweep the board at the top end in different ways that'll make people sad that they can't play around them. We've got Bankbuster for a little bit extra card advantage. Let's play some matches with this and see how it feels. Are Meathooks up to 70 in paper? It's a lot of dollar reduce. I'm trying to stand up for a little bit, chat. Stretch the legs out. Game sounds are a little bit louder than they're supposed to be. Average market price $71. Right, they have 4 mana available with the treasure, so Stroke might be live. So it'll also be like an Emperor turn where like Stroke it is. Nah, standard cards have been more expensive than that at multiple points, Mushroom. Even Jace's Vryn's Prodigy. Broke $100 when it was standard legal. Yeah, Khan's era standard had $1,000 standard decks. Is definitely accurate.
The system can't fix everything. Bet you can't catch us. There's no secret I can't uncover.
Okay, so we can Lolth down tick now.
Are you enraptured by my... Aren't I generous?
Alright, chat. I'm gonna put a quash on the Magic economy talk in general. I know he said we weren't gonna talk about the Magic Arena economy, but bleeding on over into the paper economy is very similar, so let's be done with that. We had our chuckle. It is what it is. Play or don't play.
We will slay our enemies.
Serious counter intelligence.
Just attacking here. Trade my 2/2 for a 3/3 deal. They misclick here, or do they have a shock? Trying to draw a card. I'm gonna get rid of a cat. March is insane. I mean, it's fine. It either puts you down cards or loses you tempo. Rid of artifacts and graveyards here. Attack for 6 again. So they do this. We Vanishing Verse this in response. Now they can chump block my 3/3 or block nothing. They take another 6. Unblockable and menace. Our unblockable ninja here. Arch seems fine. Ray of Enfeeblement might be fine. Their Helena and Elena is actually pretty scary for us. Portable Hole doesn't seem great here. But I want the last Doomskar. Especially on the draw. Yeah, Kaito's unblockable. Really getting in there. Timid Assassin, thank you for the 7 months. Welcome back. I want to be able to be without folks like you. Thanks for keeping me around. In the instant speed, Tim Louis, March notably exiles creature lands for a single mana. Hey, safe travel, Lumbering Falls. Thanks for the biddies. Hope your trip is good. Fleets of New Capenna releases on Magic Arena a week after it releases in paper, which is certainly a decision. You know, we don't get it released on Arena until like the 27th or something like that. Second white makes me think I should probably mulligan this. It's not great, but I guess we keep. Viking was good, Griffin. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Mire. It's waiting for me over here. 2 wedding announcements. Yikes. I would wager that my guess for the timing change on the set release is that their pre-release numbers for paper are way down, and they're trying to figure out, are release numbers down because of COVID, or are they down because of Magic Arena releasing before or around when pre-release happens. They're trying to figure out, is Arena cannibalizing their paper product?
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
The answer is yes. I'd actually be kind of surprised if the answer was yes. This is really good. So Aspirant makes partners a 3. I also am very much of the opinion that the concept of a pre-release is... I'm of the opinion that the concept of a pre-release is kind of silly in 2022. Like, a pre-release is effectively the same as a release, and calling it a for people that aren't familiar, once upon a time, we didn't have spoiler seasons, and you used to literally open cards that you didn't know were going to be in booster packs at pre-release, and it was like this neat, magical time, for lack of a better term.
Now you've done it. That's coming off.
Actually, just letting Kaito die. My sequencing here is bad. Oh, I stopped doing monthly sub-surveys. I have.
Your blade do the talking.
Whoops. You caught me.
My sub-surveys were intended to dictate the direction of my content to try and maximize the amount of money I make while streaming on Twitch. And I've since come to the conclusion I'd rather make less money and just play things that I like, rather than trying to maximize what people pay me want to see. Oh, you know what this has for strike? Oh, and these have, they give it hexproof too? I think we're just dead here, chat. It feels like we're just dead because they hit the green source. Farewell actually seems good against their wedding announcements. I should definitely have that in my deck. It's just better than the Doomskar. Ziv, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. Yep, I've mostly come to the conclusion with Twitch content that I'm just going to play games that I like for as much as I like them, and if this stops giving me enough income to call it a job, it'll just stop being a job and we'll go get a regular job again. We're still pretty far off of that point, but I just don't have it in me to play 8 hours of Magic a day anymore if I'm not having fun with it, so I'm just not gonna try. It's fine. It's got an interactive spell and some card advantage. Or on the play. Being on the play is busted shit. I'm gonna open on Bankbuster rather than hold up first here. Watching a streamer who's clearly having a bad time is one of the most painful things in the world. I mean, you all that are here probably largely agree with that, but let me tell you that that is objectively not true and not the case, and there are many people, especially people that watch Magic content, that tune in to watch people suffer. They want to have the shared experience of someone feeling bad while they play, like they feel bad when they play on occasion. Yeah, I mean, so you're relatively new to the channel. You're a 10-month sub that's been following since February 14th, 2021 Moon Pie. Like, for a long time, I streamed, gosh, I don't know, 50 to 80 hours a week of Magic. We played 5 to 8 different decks per day and just had a constant stream of stuff. And then it all changed when the fire design attacked. Sounds like an impossible workload. Most of the most successful people on Twitch work hours like that.
My children drench their hands in the blood of my enemy. Aren't I the generous one?
The way I've adjusted not only the types of games that I play, but also like my work schedule as well, is definitely increased my enjoyment but reduced my income doing what I do. I'm curious to see if it's sustainable. Hopefully it is, and if it's not, it's not. Just gonna hang out and play things that are fun.
I always reward the loyal.
Vanishing Verse, looking spectacular here. I guess we're just like Bankbuster and start drawing cards and tread some water for a little bit. So we do have a lot of card advantage built up. Eventually we can find like a Doomskar or a Farewell here. Tin Fins, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I am interested to see how Pokemon TCG's client works out. I've heard rumblings from people in the Pokemon community that their current beta is a little bit on the rough side. Oh, I can't draw with this turn after I crew because it's summoning sick now. That's awkward.
A pity our time is over.
I'm just getting rid of the wedding announcement here. I want to cut their card advantage off. For people that aren't familiar with Flesh and Blood's marketing shtick, is think of everything bad about paper magic and how it's monetized, and then crank it up to an 11. Flesh and Blood has like mechanically unique cards that appear in 1 per 40 boxes. They have like individual chase cards that are close to, you know, $100 a pop. Just gonna get rid of Yashard here while they're tapped out before they can untap with the Hexproof card. Leave these back as blockers. Hey, welcome back, Pokemon Nerd. I appreciate the 49 months. Thanks for keeping me around for over 4 years. Happy Monday. That let him kill my Planeswalker, but that's also like fine, right? Because like both these have to attack my Planeswalker, and then Meathook cleans the board. I still have a Bankbuster.
Until next time, then.
The land draw here means that I can sweep the board and still draw, which is nice. All right, tin pins. Do we just like draw a card and then clean the board here? Honestly, might be the line. Hook in play. Alright, so they have a 2/2 to our Hive plus Meathook plus a card in our hand. So we're a little bit ahead at the moment, but definitely a thin margin. Straw. Have enough lands to attack with our Hive and still play Emperor. Okay, I'm plussing my Emperor here because we're gonna Meathook this board next turn.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Maybe because I can't cast this anyways, I should pay 1 more for this to play around the +1/+1 protection card. So firmly ahead at this point. Planeswalker in play, second Planeswalker in hand.
Take no joy in the slaughter, but it's necessary work. Nothing on Innistrad is free.
We must protect the people.
Garbage time? Maybe. They have like a... I was gonna say Storm the Festival, but I still don't have triple green. They need some kind of big catch-up card. That one's definitely full of ketchup. Hey, we're gonna jump block because we're Doomskarring. We're still pretty ahead here, right?
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
Aspirants indestructible? Sure, but their angels aren't. Yikes!
Let your blade do the talking.
It's fine, chat. We're still winning.
That's it then.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna lose this game to flooding out shit? I guess we're putting them to 3, so they need they need 2 blockers for this Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so maybe we're okay. It's gonna be a lot closer than it should be based on how far ahead we were though. So they're dead?
Darkness,
Oh yeah, they block with the Hydra land, but they lose a life when they kill my Hive. Chat. They're dead before I drew this because of Meathook. So they go block, block here, take 2, take 1. This pauses them realizing they're dead. Yeah, Meathook Massacre's a heck of a card. Listen, chat, I don't know if you could put a price on how powerful Meathook Massacre is, but if I were to, like, pick a number at random, I think I would probably say it's about $71.89 if I were to try and put a price on Meathook Massacre. But who am I to do that? Alright, so we need to take Aspirant so we don't just get run down, and then we'll have to try and stroke their angel. It's looking like this might be a spell. Oh boy, we are super dead. And by that I mean we have 6 sweepers in our deck. Let's try and draw one of them. So definitely want the extra Doomskar for the creature deck. Ray of Enfeeblement sounds good. This could be a Graveyard Trespasser matchup, honestly. March is probably fine. Probably a discard spells and counter spells out matchup. Just want things to focus to the board. Probably don't want a second Farewell. First is probably worth keeping, but second's likely overkill. Hey, thanks for the 7 months going, Thran. Welcome back. Appreciate it. No blue mana here, but our deck doesn't have a ton of blue cards in it, so I think that's fine. I think in general you'd prefer not to exile cards with this. I just get rid of their 1-drop. We don't have any sweepers in sight. Let's just like match them up the curve with removal. Hey, thanks for the 4 years, Sunny back. Welcome back. All right, and Doomskar is a great pickup here because we get to go ahead and play this tapped, and this gets out of hand, so that way it can't be spellbindered, which is great. Not gonna be greedy. Just take my 2 for 1. Keep my health total high here. Assume this is going on hopeful? Really? Okay. So we can Bankbuster, draw a card, and Fateful Absence this turn, which is great. Our opponent is no longer clueless. Look at this incredibly castable farewell, chat.
No secret's safe from me. Bet you can't catch
Let's try right now, see if we get a removal spell for Redain or the innate. Nice. No absence now, so that way the innate stays hopeful and not trained up. What's going on, Carl? Thanks for the 19 months. Happy Monday, welcome back. Belong, friends. Gosh, chat, we're definitely the bad guy with this deck, huh? I want to draw with this before we loot with Kaito.
Thanks. I'll be taking that now.
Morning, pick picks.
I'm not overconfident. You're just under. May your blade strike true.
As always, if you have a question about the deck list we are currently playing, you can type !deck in chat, or find the deck list on your screen via the deck list widget. Wow, we're not attacking my Planeswalker? Deal. As you will. Wait, did they forget to use this?
Try not to miss me.
Come on, chat. We've all clicked through having a Planeswalker and play ourselves at one point or another. It happens. I've done it plenty of times on stream. Yeah, mulligan that. Yeah, this is much better. We've played some Abzan, Shingeki Control. We've not played straight green-black. I've actually got that in one of my browser tabs up over here to the right. We might do that today or tomorrow. Yeah, no one drop is a good start for us. We have all of our colors of mana. These are a few of my favorite things. What's going on, noblest man? Just gonna keep my life total at 20. Honestly, getting this used when, getting Guardian of Faith used when we're not sweeping feels kind of like a win to us. I wonder if they have another one of them.
Run away. You'll be safer. Guards, to me. I'll be back.
I'll actually just be dead here, chat. Where Dane makes all of our remaining spells super uncastable. Yeah, I think we're dead. I mean, like, Doomskar this turn? Wait, my Doomskar this turn might not even be good enough, huh? Because if we drew Doomskar this turn, we could foretell it and then draw a land and Doomskar the following turn for 6, but they're actually on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We're technically 1 short of getting us here. And our hand was very good that game, but the opponent's disruption was just much better. Thanks for the 19 months, Carl. The more things change, the more they stay the same. They didn't have the land to activate the dragon. Yeah, but I leave them with the higher power thing and the thing with vigilance and that instance brotherhood. Ultimately, it really didn't matter. I prioritized taking the thing away that had higher attack power. The 3/2 had vigilance, so I couldn't exile that. Washington, Washington. It's for the over 2 years. Welcome back. Good morning. I'm gonna open on Bankbuster because it gives me the best chance to hit my 3rd land drop next turn. Obscene Sanity. Thanks for the almost 4 years. Happy Monday. All right, with that land draw naturally, I think we just foretell the Doomskar here. Hey, Dying, thanks for the half a year. Yeah, I've been having fun with the Unite stuff too. Okay, so the greedy play here is draw with Bankbuster, hit 4th land, Vanishing Verse, the Old Growth Troll. And this now before they have a protection spell. It's going alright, Hobbit. This deck seems very reasonable that we're playing. I do not play non-Magic Arena formats, nor do I really have strong or developed opinions on them. I don't really have a strong desire to spend thousands of dollars on digital Magic the Gathering cards. On single decks for digital Magic the Gathering cards. It's funny, one of the popular decks in Modern right now is literally so expensive, the community refers to it as Money Pile. Which which is just like hilarious. Yeah, that's modern. The money pile is a modern deck. If you feel kind of dead, I feel kind of dead as well. Yeah, I just don't envision me poking back into Runeterra again, Hobbit. If a sponsored opportunity comes up, I'll definitely take it, because I think their game is pretty reasonable, but the growth vector for content's just not really there. So, like, obviously, they can just play another Chariot here, but this double block means that I can Lolth, down tick, and then Lolth again, I guess? Oh, they can do this and Chariot because of Sculptor. If we find a Meathook Massacre chat, we're actually in a pretty okay spot. Vanishing Verse ain't terrible either. I'm gonna go ahead and pass here, I think. Arcane is phenomenal. Riot really did a superb job with that show. Like to get rid of that one, please.
You're done.
Exile the Chariot, PL Meathook Massacre, be ahead. So if I portable hole a 2/2 and then make 3 blockers, I'm dead on board still. Because of the layer of the Hydra. Yeah, so the line here is just draw with Bankbuster, try and spike Meathook, right? Just making sure we don't have a less speculative line to live with. Oh wait, does this keep us alive actually? Because that's a 4th blocker, right? And it makes the treasure. So I can have 4 blockers plus get rid of the Winter Sculptor? I forgot we were going to get the token and the treasure.
Envy the strong.
This actually lets us live still, because we drew the land. Sick. Wait, are we still dead? Quick maths. We were dead to the creature land still, right? Going on, man? Thanks for the 38 months. If I'm being honest, I'm kind of expecting them to release a new non-rotating format on Arena before I expect them to really address Historic's issues. It feels like Wizards is very happy with the current state of Historic. which they're definitely allowed to be, but I am not particularly pleased with the current state of Historic. I think I'm just passing here with the Emperor draw rate. Oh wait, I have 7. I can actually do this and Emperor. Yeah.
With the right tools, I can do anything. I got someone on the inside who can help.
In peak Magic community fashion, I had someone in my mentions over the weekend on Twitter that was like, yeah, I really liked Historic until Alchemy ruined it. And I was like, Alchemy literally had no meaningful impact on Historic. Historic's basically been what it currently is now since Jumpstart Historic Horizons released. Yeah, Historic's like Blue-White Control, Cat Oven, and Phoenix is what's currently going on in Historic. Yeah, if you want to point out anything kind of ruining Historic, I think Jumpstart is definitely what I would blame. Their selection of cards in the Jumpstart set was not great, in my opinion.
I am almost sad to see you go.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Now, what do we have here?
See you later. May your blade strike true.
Not to mention Mystical Archives. Nah, I don't think the Mystical Archives are to blame. I guess you could blame the Mystical Archives for Phoenix being good, but I actually think Phoenix is the least offensive of the popular decks in Historic by a good margin. Sick. That gets rid of their creature lane. Yeah, Wednesday morning, we're going to be on the front page of Twitch for a couple hours to start the day, Beansy. So we're going to do all Pokemon Unite on Wednesday because that's the type of content I would like to grow the most out of my content lineup. Probably a protection spell? No. Okay. Start by just firing this up and attacking again and plussing the Kaito. This gets trample when they activate it, so we go ahead and do this and draw right away because I could hit a portable hole to stick this werewolf under. Hey, Barracuda Beef. Thanks for the quarter of year. Welcome back. You gonna kill my planeswalker? You knock me to 3.
My head wasn't in it.
Alright, so notable here that they have the ability to make a 4/4 trampler this turn, so I think we just pass. With the plan being we exile this, then we can trade my Hive for their pack leader. Man, this game's been quite the slog. I think I'd rather trade the Hive than the Bankbuster, because I'm getting a token here that can start crewing these now. And I'd rather have the 4/4 be bigger later. Is that their 4th Chariot? Yeah, this is the triple Chariot game, huh? It's been a long game. I forgot this was the triple Chariot game. Bankbuster is a crew 3. The opponent's top decks have been very good, and they notably have not drawn a lot of lands. So hopefully they're due for a land pocket here, because we're kind of running out of gas. They had a creature land, right? Yes, they've had. Oh, we killed one of these two. So they've had 7 lands and 21 cards, which is a little bit hot. I'm just supposed to make a 2/2 here.
I guess that's it then. We must protect the people.
Yeah, the person who's asking why we traded Hive instead of trying to eat for free with Bankbuster, they had mana to activate their thing that turn, so they would have traded with Bankbuster too. I'm gonna leave an extra land in my hand, because if we draw a Kaito, I don't want to have to attack to see a card with it. Oh, you're super right, Beansy. That's a good catch. We could have used the Bankbuster to a 5/5 to eat their thing. Yeah, I didn't think about that line. It's an excellent catch. That'd have been much better for us. Wow, it's looking like we're actually gonna lose this game, Chip. Super unfortunate. We did get it. They're talking about the Chariot, not the Wolf Pup. We literally used the Emperor to exile their Wolf Pup. Draw another Meathook. Drawing another Meathook would do it, for sure. What have I done with the last 6 years of my life? We spent at least a little bit of them here, Tom. Thanks for the tier 2 and thanks for the 72 months. Welcome to Oglandia's first rowdy kindergarten graduation class. What a long, brutal game. A lot we could do there at the end, unfortunately. Coming back into Magic Arena now, I think the current constructed formats in Magic Arena, I think Standard is the best Standard has been in a post-Fire Design world. I think it's like a solid B minus format. There's a good bit of things you can be doing in both Standard and Alchemy. Depending on how long you've been away, Historic hasn't really meaningfully changed in a while, and I think it's a little bit stale. Control decks, and Cat Oven are most of that format. Yeah, I think we've been playing mostly Standard and Alchemy here on stream. I think Standard's pretty fine. Alchemy is getting its next balance patch on Thursday this week. So I've had Alchemy on the back burner for a little bit, because we're going to do more of it once the balance patch drops. Oh yeah, Historic basically hasn't changed since then, Sorin. Alchemy's been pretty reasonable, and Standard's been pretty reasonable. And the most notable thing is Standard and Alchemy, while there are some decks that are playable in both formats also have decks that aren't playable in the other. So they both have a pretty nice, distinct feel to them in terms of what you see among the top. Yeah, we're gonna be playing a bunch of tribal decks on Thursday and Friday. So warriors, elves, and then some of the party cards got an upgrade. I'm excited for some untapped base camp chat. There's a party on Thursday and everybody's invited. Yeah, basically. It's a good summary. It's a ninja turtle chat. Death Touch Dorkos are pretty good with their fight spells.
In exchange for loyalty.
Hey, thanks for the 28 months, Sorin. Remember, too, you've got that Prime icon next to your name. So if it's easier for you to sub with Jeff Bezos' money rather than your own, that always spends just as good. Haven't subbed in a while. I was doing homeowner mortgage things. And the good news is that when I buy paper decks moving forward, the price is indistinguishable from my mortgage. Thanks for the tier 2, Bib. That's super generous. I hope your adventure in home ownership is going better than mine and Christy's first. Christy and I's first home, we bought a, almost 50-year-old house, and in the first year, we had to tear apart the wall in one of the finished rooms in the basement because the foundation leaked. We had to replace the air conditioning unit because it failed, and we had to dig up the entire front yard because the main sewage pipe going out of the house had a tree root go through it and backed up. Alright, so we're cleaning out this board. The question is how exactly. So we're definitely doing this. And then I think we're playing a tapped land and passing. That's almost enough to discourage homeownership. And then this is the real racket shit. and why rentals and landlords are a scam and why the whole system is broken. Despite all of those issues I just listed, when Christy and I inevitably sold that first home, we sold that first home 4.5 years later. We actually ran through all the metrics of all the money we spent, and it was about equivalent if we had just been paying rent somewhere else. So, like, despite, like, basically a number of, like, worst case scenarios popping up, it was still a break-even situation. Because we actually ended up selling just before all of the home prices started going crazy, which obviously we couldn't have predicted. It also meant we bought our current home before home prices went crazy too, though, so it's probably about a wash. Is Meathook a good draw? Always? Always. Property taxes in Illinois are pretty bad too. We pay $7,600 a year in property taxes on a less than $300,000 home. Wargy Corgi, thanks for the 2.5 years. Welcome back. We just take the pass because we could draw another sweeper.
I know something you don't know.
You pay that in New York with a house worth half of mine. Yikes.
Things right.
I think we do this now so they can't draw a protection spell. Homes can be less than 300,000. Ours is probably over that now. It hasn't been reassessed though. One up the street from us just closed out for 365.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
I think we just need another sweeper, right?
Now this is a juicy secret.
These have trample, not vigilance, so we can Wandering Emperor them. Make a couple of 4/4s here. Then we have March of the Otherworldly as well. For the follow, rarely mythic. Oh, I missed Bent Time in Space. Welcome as well.
What's one more match?
All right, the top of our deck has decided it wants to pop off this game chat, so does full-time streaming pay well? Depends on who you are. That was another good one. I posted my full salary breakdowns for the last 4 years on Twitter at one point. 2019 was my most successful year on Twitch in terms of just raw income because that was the peak of Magic Arena in terms of viewership and popularity, with the open beta or whatever being on the end of it. And I made about $250,000 in 2019. And then 2020 and 2021, I made a little under 200,000. And then this year, if trends keep to what they are, I expect I'll make somewhere between 100 and 150,000. There's a lot of versatility and volatility in this industry. And another thing to understand when you hear those numbers, I'm like the top % of a % on Twitch. When the Twitch leaks happened and shared everybody's income from Twitch that they made for the year, I think I was in like the top 700 streamers on Twitch in terms of income. There are some months where my job makes $4,000 or $5,000, and there are other months where my job makes $15,000 or $20,000. There's not a lot of predictability or consistency. And it averages out in the long run to be a very reasonable living for me, but makes balancing a budget something of a tightrope walk. And it's pretty good for game 3 on the draw. Is that mostly based on subs? Yeah, the bulk of the money that I make here on Twitch is from subscribers. That's pre-tax, chat. So I lose, 30 to 40% of that on that. Yeah, my wife is a business analyst for a Fortune 50 company, so I wouldn't be able to do this as a job, I don't think, if we didn't have her. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this as a job and have a family if we didn't have her. If I was single, the volatility wouldn't really matter, but like having 3 kids and being able to provide consistently for them would not be great. She analyzed your stream business too. To a degree. Does that stress me out? It took me a long time to be able to not be stressed out about it. Like, we were talking earlier about how I used to stream only Magic 50 to 80 hours a week. It took a long time, and honestly, talking through with a lot of people and realizing what was important and what mattered, to like be willing to expand past just Magic and work a more healthy amount of hours. The other thing to consider too is when you see someone who's live for, 60 or 80 hours in a week, they didn't just work 60 or 80 hours, right? Because you have to do stuff off stream to prep for your live time as well. So if you stream 60 hours, you probably work 80. And if you stream 80, you probably work 100. So I try to keep my live hours between 35 and 50 these days. So that way it's a relatively healthy amount. Nimrod Hero, thanks for the 2 years. Welcome back. Yeah, that's the other thing too. And this is for anybody new to the channel. I've had a couple of followers. We're very left-leaning on this channel. And one of the many reasons why I'm very left-leaning is when streaming took off as a job in terms of paying me a real income, my wife and I actually looked into, could we afford for her to quit her job? And to replace the health insurance my wife's corporate job provides for our family, it would cost me somewhere between $30,000 and $40,000 per year for healthcare. And for people that aren't from the United States, when I say $30,000 to $40,000 per year, I mean that's just what you pay. There's also deductibles and co-pays past that if you actually use the healthcare. Her job also provides that for us, which is pretty important. Not going broke if someone in your family gets sick is a fortunate position to be in the United States. For 40 grand a year for someone to argue with you and you actually file a claim. Yeah, exactly. There are a number of industries capitalism is fundamentally amoral and not a good solution in, and healthcare is definitely one of them. I like the idea of capitalism. In practice, I think capitalism works in a number of industries. It's just healthcare is not one of them. Arson, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. All right, how do we want to prioritize killing their stuff here? This monk's getting a little out of hand. I think it's tapped land, portable hold the Thalia here. Hey, Toastmaster, thanks for the 3 years. I really appreciate the prime. Wouldn't be here without folks like you. Did you consider moving to a spot where you wouldn't have income tax? It's not cheap to relocate yourself in the United States. The United States are very large. And also, like I just talked about the volatility of my income, you know, my 2020 and 2021 income were 20% less than my 2019. And realistically, this year could be, you know, 20 or 30% less than that as well. So like moving when I don't know long term if this is going to be my job, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. My wife and I are pretty happy with the area that we live in. Chat, if I get to do this as a job for another 2 or 3 years, I'd be ecstatic. If I get to do it for another 10 years, I'd still be ecstatic, right? I never expected what I do to be a job. I never dreamed that like playing games and making videos on the internet was a career option. For people that aren't familiar with me, I have a lot of other skills in life. I have a master's degree in mathematics. I have software development. Experience. Done a lot of work in Python and a little bit of C and some other stuff. I just always liked playing Magic and games. So I was streaming and playing games. I think not playing Arena 100% of the time is why you lost some of your subs. Some of them left because of that, but some of them too also just left because they were done playing Magic. All of the Magic category as a whole is down in terms of metrics. And long term having, in fact, part of the reason why I've worked to diversify out of just Magic is because long term having all of my income tied to one particular game and game developer is not a particularly good move if I want to do this longer term. So part of the reason why I've worked to diversify is because I would like to do this longer, and I think diversification is a good way to make that a potential possibility. The other games I've been playing are also fun. Pokemon Unite, for example, is a space I've been working to push into a lot. I play that game an incredible amount off stream. Still in kindergarten, but at least the teacher is nice. Thanks for the 45 months, Salt Block. Welcome back. Oh no, they're gonna go land Angel here, and I don't have my blue up. We're just passing here, huh? We'll hold up Stroke / Emperor. They didn't activate their Usher. So like, do they have like the 3/2 flash, Dorko? That's also true too. I've talked about that before as well. playing non-Magic games and encouraging Magic audiences to check out other games is the best tool we have as consumers to encourage Wizards of the Coast to make Magic Arena a better product. I definitely agree with that sentiment. We're just trading off here. It feels Guardian of Faith here for sure.
Guards, to me.
I mean, for what it's worth, I don't feel like Magic is all bad. If Magic was all bad, I just wouldn't stream it, and then I would just go get a regular job. The Magic that I play, I've been liking, and on days where I'm not feeling Magic, we just play other things. I genuinely think Standard is decent right now.
I've got all kinds of connections.
I think alchemy has a lot of potential. The core idea of alchemy is something that I've wanted for a really long time. Like a digitally balanced Magic the Gathering format is something that I really want. Yeah, I also agree with that, Dingazone. Current Standard's a little bit more creature-based than current alchemy. The red-black decks in alchemy pushing towards a more hand-based, whatnot. I've heard people say good things about Modern. I just can't get into, I just can't get back into Magic Online chat. So I think I'm actually gonna no blocks here, because it feels like they might have an Emperor, and I'd like to try and trick them into waiting to play Emperor till my end of turns. That way I can Disdainful Stroke her. Huh, just Brutal Cathar. That kind of surprises me. I'm gonna start by looting here.
I know something you don't know.
Okay, and then I can play this. And then I can play this land, and I can activate Hive and still draw this turn. All right, if they have an Emperor here, we get to blow them out a little bit. Which sounds like a Guardian of Faith. Oh, Valorous Stance, sure. Oh, this is what they were holding up earlier. That makes sense too. This is fine, so we'll still get to use our 2 mana to draw with Bankbuster.
Compromised. Time to go.
So we're like a little bit behind on board, but oh, that's a good pickup. Really surprised they played that post-combat. When I was playing an incredible amount of tournament Magic, I spent almost as much money as I won in the year on travel and food and stuff while traveling. I think I'd have to go back and check my tax records, but I believe my most successful year playing tournament Magic, I made approximately $20,000 in tournament winnings, and I spent a very similar amount in plane tickets and hotel rooms and gas. So this eats this. And then we'll do this and eat the Moonrage Brute. So we end up taking 3 here down to 7.
You're just underwhelming. I am almost sad to see you go.
Correct. Yeah, when I was grinding tournament Magic, chat, my kids were still like very small at the tail end and before they were born at the beginning. And I still had a traditional job at that point. Is travel tax deductible? Yeah, everything I spent was tax deductible. But making it tax deductible doesn't make it free. It's like getting it at like 30% off or whatever. These check for traps have been really bad in this deck. Maybe they're fine in the sideboard, but having them in the main deck has not felt good.
We've got the edge in this fight.
It's funny, my buddy Matt, who frequents in chat on occasion still, and we hang out IRL still. He used to travel to play Magic with me too. That's how we really got to know each other. And he often refers to my time spent grinding tournaments as my unpaid internship for streaming on Twitch, which is a pretty accurate descriptor. I enjoyed my time playing tournaments in paper. Everyone who plays paper Magic tournaments enjoys their time playing, right? Because, like, you don't play them for the money. You do it because you like it. Chat, I mentioned a second ago, the year I traveled to play a bunch of tournament Magic, I made almost 20 grand. I was traveling to play Magic tournaments almost 40 weekends that year out of 52. I played an incredible amount of Magic. It was not a small amount. Job! Thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate you keeping me around. Welcome back.
Remember your training.
We need to start closing this game out, huh? I mean, I was pretty lucky when playing Paper Magic Swin Magus. There was a standard season on the SCG tour where I think I won north of 70% of my matches. Like, everybody that does well in Magic tournaments is running hot. Teamer Flash was my baby. Yeva Nature's Herald. Snapplecaster Mage. It was good. It was a good time. Not Knuckleblade. I was Snapcaster Mage, Huntmaster, Yeva, Nature's Herald. I played a lot of Savage Knuckleblade as well, but not quite to that degree of success. Alright, we're gonna cut these check for traps from our main deck, chip. And play. Actually, we'll play this one for 90 minutes. Maybe we'll wrap and move on to the next one. Seems like a reasonable plan. Overall, if you like the look of this deck, it seemed quite reasonable. We had good grindy elements with all of our planeswalkers, and then an obnoxious smattering of removal gave us pretty flexible answers in a lot of spot. Most notably, the thing I would definitely change out is check for traps. I honestly don't know exactly what I would include in here in this spot. Obviously, this is intended for like an anti-control card, I think, so maybe you want something else that can fit in for that, but it was just kind of mediocre at no point. At no point where I was like, yeah, check for traps is exciting. Maybe it's just like another counter spell, or maybe even something like Siphon Insight could be okay as a way to like hit land drops and be another threat and generate card advantage in the control matchups. Something to gain life. Yeah, you could play more life gain. You could play like another Sorin in that slot if you want something at life gain. Maybe you want more Meathooks in the 75. Good, I can see that for sure.